Hello and welcome everybody into some Wednesday night racing action, where we're gonna have some fun here tonight. And oh boy, has it been a week since we last all saw each other. The playoffs continue here for the Vigilante Racing League at Gateway, but on top of that, iRacing had a massive update to the race trucks here in the simulator, so things are going to be a whole lot different for these drivers. We'll see who can adjust on the fly and come out on top, and who's going to be spinning down there through the grass. Like you can actually see right there someone having a little bit of a whoopsie there themselves. But all in all, should be a fun night full of great racing action. Glad to have you all here with us as we get things all fired on up and start things off with the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And welcome back. As always, we have to say a huge proud thank you to the sponsors of the VRL, such as GC Cruise Travel and Mr. Greg Klein. Give them a call at 918-906-5616, or shoot them an email or a message over on the Facebooks to get your next vacation booked up and underway. Specializing in cruise travel, but hey, he got you covered if you maybe want to take a trip over to Ireland or just tour around the U.S. I mean, the U.S. is pretty dang big. He can get you set up on with that, and what's even better, he can get you all set up for cheaper than what you probably could do finding it yourself and having all that stress. So be sure to get with Mr. Greg Klein and GC Cruise Travel to get relaxing sooner here today. Big thank you to GC Cruise Travel, the official travel provider of the Vigilante Racing League and AAA Broadcasting. Big thank you as well to Blue Fox Properties and Mr. Dave Mayberry. Give him a call at 520-850-4189 if you're looking to buy or sell your house in the Tucson, Arizona area, or really anywhere across the country. Dave and his 18 plus years of experience buying and selling homes can help get you in and out of that home of your dreams and start living life just a little bit better here. So big thank you to old Uncle Dave, and be sure to get yourself a good quality realtor here today. Big thank you as well to D&D Race Graphics for the phenomenal splash screens and all the beautiful paint schemes that we see week in and week out. Helping go beautify the iRacing experience by getting a new paint scheme done by D&D Race Graphics, and all that is done by Mr. Ricky Wittenberg with SouthBound Real Estate. You can give him a call at 423-444-0454 to get in touch with him. He's located out here in the Tennessee and East Coast side of things, but he, just like Dave, can help you out with any problems you got across the country. This housing market, man, it just keeps getting crazier and crazier. So whether it's with Dave or with Ricky, get yourself a good quality realtor here today. As always, I am Alan Brown, and I am joined in the booth with my broadcast partner in crime, the brewmaster in general, Mr. Alan English, logging in here once again as we come to a very oddly shaped track here, Mr. English. It's not. We got two completely separate corners. We got a whole brand new truck. We got playoffs happening. Man, this is just absolute chaos here tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be a weird one. This is a 1.25 mile track, and different radius in each side, each set of turns, and different banking. You got 11 degrees in turn 1 and 2, and 15 degrees in turns 3 and 4. So you got to drive them completely different, and take those tighter turns. A little bit lower down on the track, I think, and these guys will get the hang of it once they run a practice race every Monday, so they've already turned some laps, but I think after the butterflies settle down, these guys will get used to this egg-shaped track. It's like Darlington without the banking, kind of. It's kind of how I think of it.
Yeah, and a little wider too, so should definitely be seeing some great racing here tonight. Down there on pit road is the master of anger management himself, Mr. Adam Turner, all ready and fired on up. It's cut day here, Mr. Turner. I know you're a big golf fan out there, so you know what cut day means. It means after today, we're gonna send some of these playoff drivers home and packing, so the pressure is definitely on.
Yeah. You're going to show that later who's on the real cutting line there. That's going to be fun. You're going to have to really fight quite a bit tonight to get through this one. It's going to be a tough track. It's like English said, it's just weird, 1.25 miles, doesn't run like 1.5 miles, doesn't run like a short track, different ends. Somebody's going to get mad because I don't know if there's enough space out there for everybody. Maybe we'll see some anger, I'm really happy with anger. I don't know why that brings me such joy. Maybe that says something about me. Maybe I need to go to counseling. I don't know. Listen, I'm going to give you the rules, though. 1 fast repair, 65% fuel, 5 sets of tires total, which is good, 17 incident points penalty, 6 incident points penalty. After that, and no DQs. The track is 104 right now. Pretty slick out there.
That indeed it is, as we take a look here at tonight's race information. Beautiful sunshiny skies. Little cloud cover gonna be popping in here and there, which is gonna aid in trying to cool that track temp just a little bit, but otherwise no problems for these drivers out here tonight. Should be a fantastic day to go racing. Bringing us down to tonight's key to the race, where, man, these drivers, they gotta be ready for change. A lot of them put in a lot of work on Monday night for their Monday night practice. Well, come Tuesday, everything changed, and man, I needed both hands to try to count up all the drivers that were trying to put in the work last night to really get a handle of these new race trucks. I guess some of the downforce went away, some of the side force increased, tire wear is going to be totally different. I think fuel strategy probably going to be about the same, but the word on the streets from a lot of these drivers is that there's no way in heck you can drive it like you used to.
Yeah, and handling characteristics is what made this truck platform so much fun to run. But I think they'll adapt to it quickly. I don't think it's going to be a drastic enough difference for guys to want to abandon this platform. I think it's still pretty damn solid. I misspoke a minute ago. Not 15 degrees in turns 3 and 4. It's 9 degrees. It's actually a lower banking in 3 and 4 than it is in 1 and 2. So sorry about that. I goofed on that one. But yeah, just very neat. They say turn 3 and 4 is kind of like Phoenix, and turns 1 and 2 is kind of like New Hampshire. So two very different tracks at opposite ends of these twin straightaways that connect the ends. But yeah, it's gonna be pretty awesome watching these guys run around there. And yeah, the new truck definitely an unknown, at least for us.
Yeah, we're gonna have to listen and see what they say about it because they'll be talking about it. Hey, it doesn't do this now, it won't do that, or it's handling different. I think this is a weird track though. I don't know if you'll notice it as much as you might on a 1.5 mile or a super speedway maybe, but we'll see.
In a one-word description from Dustin with a Y, Dustin Eaton, his answer was Bodie. So that kind of tells you what these drivers are going to be facing here tonight as qualifying finishes up. Let's thank everybody for tuning in and watching here tonight. As always, if you haven't done so already, be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell so you get alerted every single time that we go live. And of course, if you enjoy any of the action, be sure to hit that thumbs up button as well. As the drivers finishing up their qualifying and everything and jumping into their trucks, let's go ahead and tell everybody where their favorite driver is going to start here tonight. Up there on the front row, 14 of Dustin with a Y. Mr. Dustin Eaton getting pole position. He's going to have the 6 of Trevor Robertson starting to his outside here in second. 33 of Mr. Jess Vaught getting a great starting spot up there in third with the 89 of Craig Goodenough. Man, he's really turned it on here later on in this season, and he's getting a good starting spot up in fourth. Fifth belongs to the 43 of Mr. John Curtis, one of Canada's own. He's going to have the 74 of Zachary Hallinan to his outside here in sixth. 53, Jeremiah Burke, racing out of that Phoenix area, coming in seventh with the 84 of Josh Bittner right there next to him in eighth. The 7 of Mr. Timothy Pope. I'm sure he's going to get a quick handle of things here tonight. He's going to start up inside that top 10 in ninth with the 13 of Andrew Player, rounding out your field starting top 10.
Chachi in the 81, Jonathan Osborne starting in 11th place. Outside row number 6 is Larry Dickerson in that 69 truck. The 55 truck, Ricky Wittenberg, starting in 13th place. Outside of him there, Greg Klein in the 92. 99 of Albert Anderson, America's driver, starting in 15th place. 16th will be Andrew Cawthon. Row number 9 is going to be Austin Paul in the 3 machine on the inside, and the 88 of Mike Adamson on the outside. Making up row number 10 and rounding out your top 20, the 19 of Jack Dixon and the 01 of Kelly Kill.
David Fighting the 1, 21st, 22nd. Dave Mayberry, the nickname. Number 29, 085, Greg Dobson, our Canadian friend. 23rd, 24th, Edson Ochoa from the Rio Grande Valley. Let's see, the 72 of Chandler Paul, 25th, 828, George Rincon, 26th. 77, Jacob Young, 27th, 28th, the 434, Kevin Hunt. Mike Everidge is right behind him. In 29th, Kyle Vaught in the 1630th. John Gallagher in the 123 starts this thing 31st. And always, as always, thank you, Lori Vaught, for the race control and controlling everything here.
As the field gets all lined up and underway behind the pace truck, we get ready to go to that green flag. I think 120 laps is what's in store for these drivers here tonight, and it's going to be a fun 120 laps indeed.
Yeah, we've been kind of looking forward to this one just because we don't see a lot of racing here at Gateway, especially with the Big 3 NASCAR series. But we're going to see some great racing here tonight, I believe, in these trucks.
And that we should, as the pace truck leads the field in and around turns 3 and 4 before making that dive on down to a pit lane. That's going to be a tricky thing to handle here as these drivers continue to race on. As they come back down into the Geico restart zone, we go for the first time. Green flag racing as the drivers put that pedal to the metal and send it off running down into turns 1 and 2. The 14 in the 6 remaining side by side. That 6 on the outside lane losing a little bit of ground as the 33 of Jess Vaught having a little spinneroonie, but a good save there. Even more carnage happening behind him as everybody continues to scatter about. You got 3 wide, 4 wide, back to 3 wide, back to 2 wide throughout the field. You got the 13 Andrew Player battling with that 7 machine of Timothy Pope. Right behind him looked like the 69 Larry Dickerson was about ready to go 3 wide through 3 and 4, but self-advises himself against doing that. He's going to back out and shuffle back into line. 55, Ricky Wittenberg was kind of involved in all that chaos and scattering. He's able to find a free and open spot right behind the 92 of Greg Klein here in 13th. The 10, of Andrew Cawthon finding a home inside of this run here, as well as the race in action continues to boil on. That 14 of Eaton continuing to run away up here, up at the front. Meanwhile, 89 of Craig Goodenough season opening up underneath that 6 machine as John Curtis gets a little slippery and slidey and almost snags the outside wall.
I love how these guys are attacking this racetrack early. It does kind of remind me of short track Saturday night, the way we see these trucks hang the rear end out. Oh, the 53's around.
That's going to cause caution.
Oh, man.
I don't know how it didn't.
Well, everyone trickled on down into the infield grass. Eventually, a caution flag does come out, but it was because carnage just kept happening and happening and happening. So we go ahead and watch what happened here with the 53. He was loose coming out of turns 1 and 2 here. He wasn't even coming out when he was loose. He was still in the middle of the corner when that thing was stepping out.
Yeah, guys drifting around here and trying to hang on to it.
Yep. One of the early things in practice, whether it was on Monday night or even last night, was you got to be careful on that throttle, especially if you're using the downshift strategy, shifting down from 4th into 3rd. When you put that power down, you got to be careful. And I think that just got a piece of the 53 there as he snaps back loose, gets a piece of the 84, which actually kind of helps straighten him out just a little bit. 13 and the 7 try to sneak down on the bottom side. 13 making contact with the 7. He's going for a ride. 92 of Greg Klein's going through a ride in the grass. And then kind of towards the end of things, you had the 29 of Mayberry getting involved with the 77.
As we see, I saw at least one guy come down the pit lane. Yeah, here comes a few more. So these guys are going to have to realize that under caution, you still have to stay behind the truck that is in position in front of you, even though they're on the other side of that grass median as you're going towards the pit lane. Because if you do get in front of them, you're going to get a passing under yellow penalty.
Well, they'll usually waive those too, though, because those are strange.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this place especially, you got to pay attention where that truck is to your outside because you do have to stay behind them.
Yeah, Burke is in there. I think he's getting manual repairs done. I don't think he ruined his truck at all. It just kind of got a little bit of damage from all that.
These guys do get one fast repair, is that right? I mean, he's
one
probably
total.
Saving his for later just in case.
Yeah, he is.
Well, thank you everybody for joining us out there in the YouTube chat. Albert's pop is here, pulling for his son, saying, let's go, Albert. He also says, praying for the folks hit by the tornado in Montgomery County, Maryland. Yeah, definitely prayers go out to them, and a lot of real terrible weather here lately across the South and the East Coast as well. Taylor Provax out there pulling for the 33 and the 16, both of those Vought drivers out there, saying ready for a fun race. Thank you for being here, y'all.
Yeah, it's like the weather's not ending this year. We're continuing into June. Straight into hurricane season.
See the go-kart track in the infield?
I did.
No.
That looks amazing.
I did. Did you?
Like a lot of fun.
iRacing, I don't think simulates it, but you know the track over in Belgium, Spa.
Yes.
They before the Spa 24 hours has a 24-hour kart race over there that
oh my
almost
God,
exactly mimics the full course inside their infield. So that's something I've seen a few YouTubers head over that way, and it's man, it looks a lot of fun.
That'd be amazing.
That'd be pretty fun. I don't know about the night shift. Brown, you could take the night shift. I'll have to be in the pits with a cold beer.
Well, I don't think they allow beer down in the pits.
Well, I'll be, outside the pit.
Well,
I have
in a toolbox cooler. You want to borrow mine, you can.
Yeah, I got a flask. Yeah, I got a flask.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
Gas can sized flask.
Yeah.
You're gonna need it.
Just walk around like the gas man, like some.
Yeah. You're the type of guy, Turner, that I could imagine being like in Caddyshack, the guy that's got the driver keg output thing that looks like a golf club, and it's
Yeah.
Really
Rodney
attached.
Dangerfield. Yeah, that'd be perfect.
I
Rodney
wanna build
Dangerfield.
that. We need to get some parts there, Turner. I think we can make that happen.
Oh, I'm sure somebody has on the. I bet it's on the internet somewhere. It's a pretty cool deal to go on Caddyshack.
Man. Well, as the field gets all stacked back up and ready, it's going to be the 14 and the 89 starting side by side as the lights on the pace truck turn off, which means we're ready to go back to some green flag racing here. As pace truck will make that eventual dive down into pit road, and away we go through the turn number 4 into that Geico restart zone we go, and it's hammer time here once again. Green flag racing here for the Vigilante Racing League here at Gateway. It was side by side before the 14 got just that little bit of extra help getting up there and forward. He's going to be free and clear of that 89. Right behind him, though, is the 43 and the 6. 43 had a run but couldn't go anywhere. 89 was struggling through the corner just a little bit. Still some side by side. You got the 74 Bomberman coming on up and through underneath that 33 of Jess Vaught, trying to follow the 84 of Josh Bittner, who was taking a peek at the inside of the 43 before realizing his teammate wasn't quite done passing him just yet. Some more great battles there right behind him. 69 Larry Dickerson side by side with Albert Anderson snags the outside wall, able to keep it rolling here just a little bit, but got to be careful with some of that outside damage. You got the 88 of Mike Adams. Look at this glob of blue trucks right here. You got the 10, the 3, the 88, and the 01 all tagged on up, and then right behind him the one of David Fight in a bluish white truck.
Yep, and Analea Tovar watching, saying, "Let's go, Bet."
Ooh,
The 14. She had to have loved that restart.
Yeah, Jeremiah Burke having some more issues out there, ends up in the infield grass there once again. So, again, these drivers still having to try to figure these trucks out on the fly here on race week. 43 John Curtis drifting up towards the outside wall, gets the power down, starts turning and burning that 43 machine to get that momentum built back up.
Man. Yeah, Jeremiah Burke, that was the same kind of scenario from the first wreck. He's just having a hard time controlling that thing right now. New setup.
Is that some of that? Is he downshifting? I mean, is he getting a little bit too much torque put down because he's in a lower gear? Or
I think that might be the case. I mean, I'm going to assume that's the fastest way around this racetrack, as we see a good battle here between the 1 and the 16, Fight and Kyle Vaught. Been going at it here. Same thing with the 3 of Austin Paul and that 01 of David Fight. Again, Austin Paul, one of these VRL playoff drivers right now. You can tell by that red banner across the windshield, and they've got red tailgate spoilers as well to kind of help differentiate things. As the 88 of Mike Adamson, ooh man, almost getting up into the 69 Larry Dickerson there just a little bit, but able to keep off of him there. 19 of Jack the Ripper Dixon trying to claw his way on up. 85 Greg Dobson. Ooh, he's making some big ruts down there on that infield.
he's making ruts on the infield, and the 19 of Jack Dixon was scraping the outside wall. And you got everybody else running in between here.
Yeah,
Man, it's early to be having handling problems. I hope everything is going to work out for these guys in this truck.
There's almost again some close contact there between the 88 and the 69. Thankfully, these drivers aren't having to pay a fee to help maintain this this racetrack here tonight.
Kelly got loose there in the 01. A lot of the guys having the rear end hanging out on them here. And it's that corner exit, Adam. I mean,
Yeah.
we talked about it.
Well, Chandler Paul just had an issue like that. But there's no better way to test it than in the race, like We just got the update, so here you go, guys. Figure it out. That's what they're kind of doing. I think that's why you might see a little bit of this single filed stuff. Just kind of hanging out, see what happens.
As you can see there, the 16 of Kyle Vaught carrying just a little too much speed into turns 1 and 2, went out high, and you could also hear that he is indeed shifting down from 4th into 3rd. As, some more close calls here around that 81 of Jonathan Osborne, 28 close to that outside wall, 55 Ricky Wittenberg getting a little loosey-goosey there, 82 of Mike Everidge, and 13 of Andrew Player, all with a within shouting distance of each other here. 92 of Greg Klein going side by side right now with the 085 of Dobson, having a good battle there. Meanwhile, it's about a half-second lead over Craig Goodenough for that 14 of Dustin with a Y. You got the 84 and the 33 battling it out side by side before the 33 tucks back into line, and the 99 and the 10 machine battling side by side.
Lori Vaught in the YouTube chat reminding us that this is race number 2 of the playoffs. And it is a cut race, as you mentioned earlier there, Brown. They're going to cut, the bottom 4 out of the playoffs? I think it's the bottom 4.
I think we're cutting it in half because we have 16, and then I think it's going to go to 8, and then 2 more races, and then it's going to go to 4.
Go big or go home.
So it's definitely go big or go home. I do have, indeed, that list. Unfortunately, I don't have a fancy graphic for it, but we will touch base on where these drivers do in fact stand, and I gotta tell you, it's gonna be close to try to get up inside that top 8 here tonight, as the 10, 88, and the 99 continue to kind of have a little battle between themselves. Other than that, a lot of single files, some people trying to make use of the long back straightaway here, trying to get whatever passes they can before heading into turns 3 and 4, like the 81 of Jonathan Osborne and the 82 of Mike Everidge right now going side by side through turns 3 and 4. A lot of things I'm noticing here there, English and Turner, is turn 1 and 2, that's where we're seeing a lot of loosey-goosey kind of stuff, and then 3 and 4, it looks like it's very easy to get tight on exit and get very close to that outside wall.
Yeah, that's where that different banking and different radius and stuff come into play. Just like we said, it's like 2 different racetracks out there. But Dustin Eaton got half a second on Craig Goodenough, who has 4/10 on the guy behind him. So these 2 guys up in front, the 89 of Craig Goodenough and the 14 of Dustin Eaton, really, really having a great race here tonight.
And they might have put in a little bit more, or had the time to put some laps in with this new setup. I don't know. Every time you update iRace and it becomes kind of goofy. I wish they'd fix the hit boxes, where we have all the net code and stuff. I haven't seen net code yet that I noticed, but I'm afraid it's still here.
We'll just have to wait and find out. Again, especially in these trucks, we kind of typically see that more at some of the faster tracks like Michigan or an Auto Club or the super speedways. But it can definitely rear its head here on these little more technical tracks, as the 19 of Dixon finds the outside wall there just a little bit. You got to be careful going down that backstretch. I mean, thankfully these drivers do have available to them a porta potty back there with a little bit of a parking spot cut out, but got to be careful. If you get loosey-goosey and end up in there, man, that's probably going to be a totaled race truck, because there's some very unforgiving angles in that wall up that high.
And it's hard to parallel park into that little spot when you got all this traffic coming behind you. So, yeah, you got to regulate yourself there a little bit. Oh, is that the 3 getting a little loose there?
Yeah, turns 1 and 2 getting a little loose as he's going side by side with that 16 of young Kyle Vaught. He's got the 13 of Andrew Player kind of hounding on that back bumper right now.
Well, Kyle's pop had a little bit of an issue earlier finding some grip, but he's currently still sitting in that 4th position pretty solidly. Trevor Robertson, who I didn't mention, was pretty close behind Craig Goodenough there too. He's also having a great race here tonight.
Yeah, Ted, one of the Ain't Dead Yet drivers, Staying within about a second of the leader. He's got just under 2 seconds back to where the 33 of Jess Vaught and the 84 of Josh Bittner have finally traded positions, and Jess, I should say, continues to move on up, or I should say back up the leaderboard here.
Well, speaking of Kyle, he's moved up a bunch. What, 16 spots, 15 spots? So, good for him. Looks like he's dropping a little bit now that we mention him.
Yeah, it's side by side, almost going 3 wide. There's a 55 Ricky Wittenberg getting a great run down on that bottom side. 13 Andrew Player making his way on through. Same thing with the 28 of George Rincon, trying to figure his way around this racetrack here tonight. I know we talk about attrition positions here, Turner, especially once when people start getting some heavily damaged race trucks and all that kind of thing. But I got a feeling that's probably somewhat of the case here tonight, where you're seeing almost everybody having an issue here or there where, contact between the 1 and the 01. No wrecking or nothing, just a nice little love tap from fender to fender. But these drivers, they're slipping and sliding all over the place, maybe getting a little tight, losing a couple spots here and there, and then they've got to fight to move their way back up. So I think if you can just keep it smooth, you don't need to be the fastest one out here tonight, but just keeping it smooth, I think you could find yourself picking up some easy spots from other guys making mistakes.
Yeah, just kind of lay in wait, save tires as much as you can, and see what happens in front of you. We're bound to at least have probably another crash, but it's going to be interesting when we start the pits, because the pits are strange here, kind of like an Indy-style pit road. So we do some green, white, or green flag pit stops. That'll be fun.
Thing I've noticed, we talk about most of the drivers sliding around out there. You know who's been solid as a rock? Ricky Wittenberg. Ricky Wittenberg has that interesting low line that he's running in the turns. He's not getting loose. He's not sliding up the track. He's sticking like glue to the track. I don't know what he's doing out there different than these other guys, but this is the kind of track and the kind of racing that Ricky really loves. The old school stuff that takes a lot of grit and determination and a lot of figuring on how to get around it good. And look at him. He's making up another spot there.
Yeah, he moved up underneath that 3 of Austin Paul, who kind of saw they were about to go 2 wide into turns 1 and 2 and kind of backed out of it. Said, hey, Ricky, you're running pretty good right now. Let's get you up in front of me. Don't let me slow you down, as he continues to try to charge up this leaderboard. 13 in the 1 machine going side by side. Having a good battle there. It's just kind of some good onesie twosie battles happening as Dustin Eaton, he's just put the afterburners on here, opening up that gap to Craig Goodenough by about a second and a half. Goodenough kind of falling back a little bit here as Trevor Robertson getting caught up by the 33 of Jess Vaught. Mike Adamson still having a good battle though with that 69 machine. Looks like the 88 though, he's ready for his first round of pit stops. Oh, look at that. We're already about 30 laps in here, fellas.
Be over before you know it. Golly, it's flying by, this number 2 playoff race.
You have plenty of tires, and that might be what's happening here. I think they're probably starting to feel the wear. Might be a time to come in and change them.
Well, as of right now, some of the best lap times out there on the track worth a 33.92 and a 33.99 for Eaton and Goodenough. Well, they're now up into the mid and upper 35s, even seeing some 36s out there. So, we're at that 2 second differential here in lap time. So, yeah, these tires are about all worn out as they could be.
Like you said, Adam, they got a ton of tires in there. Well, they got 4 extra sets of Goodyears sitting behind the wall.
Yeah,
they're going to take advantage of it. A lot of full pit stops tonight. You think?
I would. I mean, I'd take them every time. I think you take them every time, you can still bank a pair or a set for the end of the race in case goes a little long or whatever. But
yeah.
I don't know. Somebody else is coming in.
Yeah, 13 a player, 84 a Bittner making their way on in. So pit cycle number 1 under the green flag up and underway here at Gateway. You'll see drivers merging on the backstretch, trying to get in and out of pit road. It's not difficult to get in, but it's going to be very difficult to be in to get in and try to make up some time. As I think that's really where you're going to see the difference is the people who try to be aggressive on those pit road entrances. They're not really going to be able to do that here tonight.
Yeah, there's really no fighting going into pit road the way it's set up. Might be a fight on the way out.
So you're right, they're going from 16 to 8, and then from the next 2 races after this one, they'll go from 8 to 4, and then they'll have the one championship 4 round, and it's 1 race. Yeah, thanks for letting me know about that, Alan. I just wanted to go back and explain it straight out of the rule book, because these guys, this is a very organized league, and they got a great detailed rule book, and I've got a copy of it, PDF, so I can refer to it. But
yeah,
thank you, Lori and Jess, for putting that together. It's laid out like a military regulation, which is what I like. It's easy to find stuff in there, and
yeah, it makes sense.
Like
They use common sense when putting this thing together.
Well, if we ever have an open book test about it, I'm gonna have to maybe borrow yours. I left mine.
A search function.
Yeah, I left mine back over in Daytona. So until we go back there, I'm missing mine for the time being. But still a great battle. 55 Wittenberg, 3 of Austin Paul, 01 of Kelly Keel. Been having a fantastic battle here in these later stages of the opening run. Dustin Eaton, I guess, still feeling pretty comfortable on the set of tires and the fuel that he's got. Continuing to run around out there on the racetrack. Not yet ready to come on into those pits. 92 Greg Klein continuing to climb up through the leaderboard. Sorry about that, buddy.
No, you're good. I'm just thinking that, as soon as Eaton pits, though, that's going to open the floodgates, because everybody else is going to try to come down at the same time. I think Eaton's kind of waiting to see if we do get some trucks with worn out tires that may spin and cause a caution. That way he won't have to pit under green, but I don't know if he's going to get that before he starts running short of fuel.
No, they're running fairly clean, even though they're sliding around a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
I know they're feeling those tires.
Well, how about this little pack of 4 drivers that we got here? Got the 43, got the 10, and you got the 88 who just recently pit, so he's got some of that fresh rubber starting to fly his way on up and through. 74 Hallinan snags a piece of the outside wall. 10 Andrew Cawthon is going to try to make use of that loss of momentum from the 74 and sneak down towards the inside. John Curtis still just kind of hanging around right there. These drivers not necessarily been battling all 37 laps thus far, but they've been pretty dang close to each other, as the 3 and the 01, who have been really having a battle here tonight, continues to go side by side. As the 82 of Everidge makes his way on down into pit road.
Something's coming here next time, I believe. Radio's starting to pick up just a little bit with some pit notifications there, Turner.
Yeah, there's a few. It's kind of everybody's doing their own thing, which is strange.
As the 89 and the 10 machine make their way on down into pit road. They do have to be careful against that outside guardrail. You see that little step ladder? Oh, you can actually drive through it. Never mind. I was getting worried because the 89 was getting pretty dang close to it, but I guess you can go through it without too much of an issue.
Sorry, I thought I was getting talked to for a second, but my wife's on the phone.
33 of
what?
Well,
33 of Vought coming in. 6 of Trevor Robertson making his way on down and in. Same thing with the 1 of David Fight. That leaves still the 14, Dustin with a Y. I think this is going to be one of those cases here, English, where now that he's seeing some of the contenders there sitting behind him, as Kyle Vaught makes his way on, has a caution. 14 of Eaton is kind of stuck down there on the entrance towards pit road. He avoids coming past that commitment cone. Ooh, man, that was kind of dangerous. We'll have to see what happens here with that 14 of Eaton as we go back and take a look to the 16 of young Kyle Vaught. Oh, and gets snagged up with the 77. Jump up into the chopper camera. Oh, I think both drivers a little loosey-goosey and trying to figure out where each other was going to go. And unfortunately, the 16 just tapping enough of that back bumper to the 77 to send him going across the track sideways into that inside wall. And then the 16 goes hard up into the outside wall.
Yeah, the 77 of Jake the Stash Young going to get the EOL for that. And he went ahead.
He was kind of looked like he was sliding a bit as he got hit. Crazy paint scheme though. It's a Trevor Project Ford. Pretty cool.
Don't know exactly what's going on all over that, but it's different and I like it.
Yeah.
As everybody else in the field comes on down into pit road other than Dustin with a Y. So I don't know if this has to deal with issues that he had as he was on his way into pit road. So it's one of those tricky kind of things.
My question, he's not black flagged. So I thought maybe he got like an unsafe pit entry or exit just for cutting the median between the track and the apron there, but no such doing. The only black flag we got right now is Jacob Young, 77.
It looks like he's making his way on down into pit road this time. Problem is, I wonder if he might get a penalty for this because
close.
Well, so if you don't come down the first opportunity and come down on the second opportunity, I think it is for lead lap drivers, because the second opportunity is meant for the cars that are a lap down to make their way into the pits.
If it does, he'll already be stopped, and then it'll.
I think.
Okay, there you go. He just announced. Yep, he's going to be serving a penalty after the restart.
Yep,
you're right.
Yeah, racing is got to keep you on your toes as a driver, and unfortunately, there for the 14, it's going to end up losing quite a few positions here from that one. But if we've seen anything, he might be able to fly his way on up through the field, as we're going to see a ton of wave arounds here. We might actually end up, depending on how fast these drivers are able to get back around, the caution might get extended by a lap. But the 33 of Jess Vaught is going to get things restarted here with the 74 of Zachary Hallinan right next to him. 43 of John Curtis, 69 of Larry Dickerson, 19 Jack Dixon, who's up 14 spots on the day right now, is going to be starting up inside that top 5. 3 of Austin Paul is up double digits. Albert Anderson, George Rincon up 18 spots. So there's definitely room for improvement out there for drivers, as we're seeing a whole bunch of movers and shakers.
Yeah, 7 cars, or trucks rather, trapped on the lead, or trapped one lap down. It looks like a lot of them, like you said, will get a wave around here.
Well, that'll be fun to get it back to square business. Here they go.
Yeah, that indeed, as the 33 and the 74 speed up a little bit here, catch back up to the pace car, and they get everybody all re-racked and stacked and lined up in their proper positions. And yet there goes the lights here once again. So we're gonna go make another lap just to ensure that everybody gets back around and lined up correctly.
make sure and get it right. There's plenty of times when this is the right call. Go ahead and add another lap of caution just to make sure everybody gets in the right spot.
Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna do the wave around thing, let's make it fair. So they are.
Right, yeah. And this is a cutoff race, so the last thing you want to do is put somebody in a situation where, maybe they lost a couple of points for something that happened on a restart where they're waiting on a driver to catch up or something like that, and they end up getting eliminated or something like that. This is probably the best league around in trying to get things done right and fairly.
Well, how hard a time is Destin with a Y going to have trying to get back around to the front? You think he can do it?
It's going to be difficult for him here. The thing he will have going for him, though, is because I think he's going to have to come down into pit road to either it's either a pass through or a stop and go or something down on pit road once when the green flag waves. Once when he comes down and in and then goes back out onto the racetrack, he should have some free and empty air to just kind of sit back and run some laps. So I don't think he's going to be quite out of it just yet. The problem for him is going to be trying to stay on that lead lap. As lights on the pace truck are now officially off, which means we get ready to head on back to some green flag racing with that 33 and 74 lined up side by side. Pace truck down and out of the way as the field rounds and around turn number 4 into that Geico restart zone we go here once again. Green flag racing here at Gateway, resuming the action as the 33 puts the power down. He's got the 43 just absolutely Daytona shoving him up there, up at the front, trying to get him up and out of the way as the Vought just having a little bit of an issue there. Not able to get the power back down. That's going to leave an opening here for the 74 Hallinan to make a run in the 69 of Dickerson making a run up around the outside lane.
Man, Hallinan just took full advantage of that. His stuck to the pavement perfectly, and Jess Vought just couldn't get any traction there. And wow, he just drove around him.
Yeah, 69 of Dickerson getting the benefit of that as well, moving up into that second spot as 33 Just Vought loses a couple, but don't you worry. We saw that the 33 had some decent long run speed there, so I don't think he's too concerned right now about positions. Again, we are still super early in this race on top of it all as the 92 and the 28 of George Rincon go battling side by side. Got the Goodweiser team and Vigilante Force drivers.
Edith Anderson here supporting Team Anderson. Thank you so much for being here, Edith. And Analea Tovar. What do you call that emoji?
It's like a sick face, I think.
It's kind of sick, nervous looking,
Watching the 14 having to drive his way back up through traffic here. He'll be all right.
81 of Osborne trying to work his magic around the 92 of Greg Klein now. He's seen the outside and the inside wall a couple of times. Some paint scrapes there. It's right there behind him. Gonna have some evasive maneuvers as we had someone slap that outside wall pretty hard. I think that was the 72 of Chan the Man. Good avoidance there from Ricky, and then you could see a lot of the people there behind him just keeping their eyes up, saying that, something's happening, so I guess we all got to start diving everywhere across the racetrack. And everyone left a little bit of space for each other. There's the 123 Gallagher. Lines on up with Craig Goodenough here going towards the inside.
I love the 2 wide racing here that you see all over the track, and a little bit of 3 wide every now and then, but the guys know it ain't a great idea, and they quickly figure it out when they get to that point.
Yeah, but you got to take advantage where you can now.
Man, Osborne getting squiggly in there in front of the 123. No, going for a ride.
Yeah, we saw Gallagher and Cawthon side by side right there, not giving each other much room, and they eventually came together.
Go ahead and take a look-see at what happened here, going side by side and around turns 1 and 2. And, oh, man. Well, hey Adam, I'm sorry, buddy. Well, they were gonna make contact, but there was
Little netcode, huh?
there was netcode there. They were gonna make contact. There's no avoiding that one as the 10 kind of slips across that back corner panel there of the 123, sending him for a little bit of a ride. Looks like just a little late touch in there, but everybody able to, for the most part, relatively undamaged, have really not too many issues.
Yeah, net code, but I mean, Turner, you couldn't have fit a Copenhagen can between them two trucks right there when they.
Well, there's two different kinds of netcode. There's the kind that,
Yeah.
well, they were going to hit anyway, and then there's the kind that's blatant. So we can deal with this little bit of netcode here. So I'm not angry about it.
Oh no.
Sure.
I think it's pretty cool, actually. You know.
Yeah, like I said,
seen it.
there was no avoiding that contact. That was gonna happen, whether something happened within iRacing or not. As we get everybody all lined up here, a third caution of the evening. These drivers have been doing a pretty good job trying to keep these things all settled on in, and it's a good thing because, as we've been mentioning, it is a cut-off time for these drivers here in these VRL playoffs. So let's go ahead and take a look here at what people are currently standing at. You got the one of Jess Vaught safely up there, up at the front with the, or you got in first, I should say, Jess Vaught up at the front. And Timothy Pope, Larry Dickerson, Dustin with a Y with some good points and looking pretty good. But it's right back here, right around 8th, where you got Josh Bittner, Albert Anderson tied for that 7th place position, which means both Anderson would be in as of right now, and Austin Paul in 9th would be out, and he's only back by a couple of points. Craig Goodenough is back about 5 points. Same thing with Zachary Hallinan, about 5 points, as they are tied for currently in 10th. Andrew Player, he's back quite a few. He needs to get a really good finish here tonight to try to level that playing field. Mike Adamson, Greg Klein, Chandler Paul, not looking too good after an unfortunate event last week, and then same thing for John Curtis. Curtis basically needs a win here to have a chance to sneak on by.
Seen some crazy stuff happen in some of these iRacing leagues, and John Curtis, don't look now, he's in 4th place, starting in 5th. Good solid start there, Turner, and he's got a shot.
Yeah, no, he's got a shot, and that's the best part about the playoffs. So everybody in the playoffs has a shot. I mean, it's crazy, but not quite as crazy as I haven't done a Florida Man in a while, just because we've had a long caution here. This newest Florida Man, this is a good one. The Florida Man was wearing a lady's top. He crashed his car into the lobby of a police station and started throwing rubber snakes into the air. I mean, how amazing would that to just witness something like that?
You sent me that, didn't you?
I did. I sent that to both.
Okay, that's where I saw it.
But it was just one of my favorite ones. I hadn't heard a good one in a while.
That's crazy.
So, yeah, hopefully the ending will be just crazier.
Wearing nothing but a lady's top.
Yeah,
this guy was
very descriptive.
Crashed into the police station and then just started throwing rubber snakes in there.
Yeah, I mean, how Florida is that? Where's Earl when you need him, you know?
I never saw any of that in Florida.
I did.
Spent a lot of time there in
So
the
did I.
Panhandle too.
Me too, yeah, that's where it all goes down.
Yeah. Huh.
Anyway, back to you.
Give me a second, because I got to do a little message.
Oh, okay, so
I
perfect timing for that.
I was even down there for like the mullet festival and stuff, which the mullet is a fish, but it's
I've seen
double
that,
meaning there at that. Yeah, everybody's wearing mullet wigs and stuff too. You know, it's a blast down there, Fort Walton.
Yeah, but, it's a fun time.
I never heard of anything that nutty happening there.
Oh, come on. Pace truck is down.
As the 74 and the 69 are going to start things off here side by side. Heading into that Geico restart zone we go. Green flag racing here once again. The 69 getting a great powerful restart up there on that outside lane. But here comes that 33 giving a good shove to the back bumper of the 74 down into turns 1 and 2. 69 though up on that outside lane. He saw what the 74 did the last time. He said, hey, I can do that too. And he gets a rip and run and out of turns 2 to get that lead. You also now have the 43 of John Curtis, who we said he's really got to get that race win to try to move on in these playoffs. And look at that. He is right up there inside that top 3 right now, looking to the outside of the 74, drifting out side by side as they make their way back down the front stretch.
Yeah, great little restart here. Ooh, man. Love watching this mid-pack action here. Whoa, we got one in the grass.
Mayberry taking a trip down into the infield, able to looks like get it all corralled up without too much of a problem there. Doesn't seem any more damage or anything like that, so he's able to continue to drive off, and he's able to get right back into some battles here. He's going side by side with the 434 of Kevin Hunt, then eventually get free and clear of him. He's going to try to chase down that 085 of Greg Dobson. You got the 13 of Andrew Player side by side with the 7 of Timothy Pope, who's very unlike Timothy Pope back in 22nd right now. Then you got some good battles happening there in that Enfield as well, as the 92 of Klein, 6 Trevor Robertson going side by side, and then just up the road in front of them you got the 19 and the 14 going side by side. Again, that kind of quick caution that we had benefited the 14. He didn't lose all that many positions. He's now back up into 7th as he tries to chase his way back up through the field. 33 of Just Vaught able to get back around that 74 of Hallinan and secure that 2nd spot down as these drivers continue to go to battle.
I told you Dustin would be all right. He's picking them off. He's kind of in a bottleneck right now.
Well, and Dave Mayberry went down in the grass, mowed a little bit, but he knows good landscaping. He's the Blue Fox
Three
Properties.
big wreck on the front stretch.
Nowhere to go in the front stretch either. It's so narrow.
I saw
lot
the
of
3 of
secondary.
them. Awesome.
And the 01 of Kelly Keel kind of getting into it there towards the end of things. Oh man, that was a pretty big wreck, like you said there, English. It gets very narrow there between the walls, and that's where you start to see things start to compound upon each other here. As we go ahead and take a look here from our chopper camera, coming out of turns 3 and 4.
19 and a 3.
And looks like the 3 maybe just not quite settled. Looks like he was pushing out wide, trying to save it, and then just get snapped loose. Meanwhile, the 19 was kind of giving him just a little bit of a shove. Maybe not necessarily on purpose, but that sends, unfortunately, the 3 of Austin Paul down into the 14. 14 able to just kind of shake it off and continue to drive out of it, but the 19 going sideways, the 3 going sideways. Poor Albert Anderson able to sneak on by without too much of an issue, but down on that bottom side, oh man, just contact after contact. 55 Ricky Wittenberg trying to slip on through. 89 Craig Goodenough with a little bit of a tap. 10 of Andrew Cawthon locking up the brakes, gets snagged up in it as the 01 Achille Keel gets hard into the 3 machine as bumper parts just flying all over the place.
Kelly Keel looked like he had a bumper or something stuck on his windshield there for about half a lap. And it looked like it disappeared, but yeah, he had nowhere to go. He had them locked up and still plowed into some parked traffic there.
Yeah, super tight right there, and that's that specific area of the track. There's no runoff. Just a couple of hard walls right in between you there.
A lot different from the backstretch, isn't it? Where you got a grassy area and
Yeah, you got a little space back
concrete.
there. Everett was apologizing for something there, but Yahtzee.
As a good chunk of the field coming on in to make use of this freebie pit stop and getting everything, whether it's fixed or tires or both or fuel, and just a big mob coming on down and in trying to capitalize on this opportunity. Your top 7, though, did not. That's Hallinan, Adamson, Player, Burke, Dobson, Mayberry, and Gallagher electing to stay out. So I guess they got some plans of their own for later on.
Only a handful of drivers with some different strategy, maybe 2 tires and fuel here. Austin Paul, Josh Bittner. Let's see. Jack Dixon looked like maybe fuel only. So a couple of 2 tires maybe, or tires, or maybe a couple of fuel only. Maybe some guys trying to bank a couple of tires for later.
I mean, if it comes down to it, between, if we maybe get another couple long runs in here and then try to finish this thing off as we just passed the halfway mark, tires could possibly win you the race here, especially if the drivers up at the front don't have that extra set and they're, call it 10, 15 lap differential. I mean, you're talking about a second a lap.
Yeah, it might keep you in the race, keep you in contention, might keep you in the playoffs. These cutoff races get pretty intense around that 8th, 9th position in the standings. Especially if guys are next to each other out there. Look for some bumping and dumping.
So everybody rejoins the racetrack, getting all lined up to get ready to head on back to the green flag racing here. Been having a fantastic night of racing indeed. A couple cautions ago, before the cautions started happening, I was gonna say, this is kind of like how Iowa's a short track but races like a mile and a half. This is kind of one of those tracks it's not quite a mile and a half, but it races like a short track, like the side-by-side action we've been saying. That's short track racing. These drivers definitely having to work in these corners, kind of like in Martinsville. It's all about getting side-by-side and whoever's brave enough to put the most power down.
Yeah, it looks a lot like the racing we saw at the little 3/8 mile track that I used to go to when I was in high school, a little pavement track. The same kind of racing happened, but this is a mile and a quarter. I mean, it's a lot bigger, but yeah, same style of racing that we saw under the lights at San Antonio Speedway back in the day.
It's a big track that's racing little here tonight as the lights on the pace truck turn off as he prepares to make his dive down into pit road. Side by side go the 74 and the 88 lined up here once again. Into that Geico restart zone we go. Green flag racing once again as they go side by side off and running down the front stretch into turns 1 and 2. Pretty even Steven there. Both drivers getting a pretty solid restart, but the momentum on that outside lane for the 88 of Adamson just pulling ahead as he finds some open space. 53 of Jeremiah Burke tucks in behind the 74.
Gallagher sideways.
Oh, another big wreck. 14 involved. 89 of Craig Goodenough getting snagged up in it as well.
I don't know if Gallagher had help or not, but I saw him go sideways and it just right there in the middle of the backstretch. I think he lost it on his own, trying to get power down.
Yeah, it's what we've been seeing here. As give me a second, gotta do some scrolling here as 123 and the 14 find each other there out on the racing surface. Yeah, he was up towards that outside lane. I think this might be a case. Not only is it difficult because they're already in a shorter gear. They're in third, but you can see he's up, especially the right side of his vehicle. The 123 is in those marbles, which is basically driving on ice with these racing slicks. And yeah, it just snaps him loose and he comes right back down in front of the 14. And that leaves the 123 and the 14 exposed. You can see the 43 getting a piece of the 123. 14 of Eaton just trying his best to lock it up to avoid the contact, and then just absolute mayhem here. You got the 84 trying to sneak by on the outside. Albert Anderson once again sneaking through caution here. The 6 machine slips on through. Oh, we're going to have to take a look here from that 1 machine, David Fight, as he finds the tiniest of holes and just absolutely threads the needle.
Dang. That's wild.
Ooh, man, bobbing and weaving for that 1 machine. Oh, man, thank goodness he's got that special insurance that gives you rebates for safe driving, because, man, he avoided that one well.
Yeah. He's got that thing plugged into his, plugged in under his dash.
What did I miss? Another one?
Yeah, saw the 123 get a little loose coming out of turn number 2 across the track, snag the 14 of Eaton, who looks like he came down into the pits, used up the fast repair to get everything all fixed up, and it's yeah, it was just all mayhem from there.
Eaton had made up so many spots, after losing a bunch early, only to get hit by about 3 or 4 different cars during that incident there. So, yep, that's what that fast repair is for. Peyton McGowan just said pain.
Yeah.
Loads and loads of pain, Peyton.
We're halfway through.
Oh, yeah, I swear. Unfortunately, looks like the 77 Jacob Young has decided to call it an evening here tonight. He joined us here with the driver cams. Also have the 72 of Chan the Man joining us with his driver cam. He's growing out a pretty good beard right now. Got that full
that's a
face going.
respectable looking red beard right there. Almost like some sort of a Viking.
Viking.
It just needs one of those helmets with the horns on it. Maybe we can add that later through the magic of television.
It's definitely a possibility.
So he's now the Viking. I don't know if there's any Vikings in Kentucky.
Well, he's already got a nickname. He's Chan the Man, so
He's Chan the Man.
I know, but
Chan the
still,
Viking Man.
We change Dave Mayberry's every week,
Well, that's why he's just Dave, the nickname Mayberry now, because he's had 20 nicknames. Or Uncle Dave. I like Uncle Dave.
Uncle Dave's
Because
not
he
bad.
seems like the fun uncle. You know what I mean? Come on, hey kids, come over here and play on my race rig.
You wanna,
He was the fun uncle.
you wanna make your parents mad? Do this.
Yeah. And here's some extra caffeine and sugar
Yeah.
candy.
Yep, and then you get to return them right to the parents. That's the best aspect about being an uncle.
Or grandpa.
As Analea Tovar, she heard it before she saw it. That's part of the, I guess, one of the downsides of having a delay is she unfortunately can see the future.
Oh, she heard him in the other room.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are on it's almost like a 20-second delay too.
Oh, today is it like 20 seconds today? Normally it's...
I hadn't counted a day. It was yesterday
It's
was
usually like 8 or 12.
No, the last time it was 20. I counted it.
Golly,
They're
that's
censoring us, they're after me. It's fine.
yeah.
I have more time to take me out of the...
Oh, is it to set up that dump button that I didn't know I had?
Well, no, the government sets it up there.
Yeah.
That's why remember when my internet kept going out last race? Yeah.
That explains it. As we go back to green flag racing, and it's filter time for the 88 of Adamson as he filtered his way up through the field. 17 spots gained to control this race here up at the front. He's now being challenged by the 53 and the 74 as Jess Vaught in the 33 goes down into the infield grass. 3 wide, 2 wide, back to 3 wide here again as everybody checking on up as another yellow flag comes on out.
Yeah, they brought the yellow out
it.
when he came back up the track. I guess that caused the yellow. I don't know.
Well, it looks like
it shouldn't have.
It looks like Gallagher had some issues as well. But let's go ahead and kind of see what happened here with the 33 of Vaught. Oh man, getting very tight and up into the 13 machine there a little bit. Breaks him loose causing him to go down into infield grass. Did a great job of trying to keep it safe about coming back up onto that racing circuit. So then, now let's go ahead and take a look at what happened here with Gallagher, because I think this is that's where the caution came out. He saw the checkup and was going a little bit slow in the traffic. He ends up having a little bit of a meeting of the minds there with the 81 Achachi, and ends up spinning across the racetrack and was sideways on the racing surface. So that is what brought out said caution.
That one was kind of weak because Jess did a great job putting it back on there, staying out of trouble. Whatever.
Yeah. Well, our
I guess it was behind there. There was some other stuff that you saw.
oh yeah.
I'm doing other things. I got I'm buying gold right now on my phone, and a silver too. Silver's like going crazy, guys. So
Buy me some aluminum, but because that's about all I can afford. Is
I
that going
get
to
you
be
some
worth
real-
some?
you get you some real good HEB barbecue foil. I mean, it's about $20 a big
The kind
sheet.
that's non-stick on one side?
Oh, it's wonderful.
All
That stuff
right.
is great. Yeah, I'll get you. I'm over here buying gold and silver. I'll buy you some aluminum, no problem.
I'm going to buy some tin bullion.
Well,
That's what I'm going to buy.
And
let's get to a part of the segment that I know Turner absolutely loves. It's the fun facts here tonight for
Oh, I like them too.
Worldwide Technology Raceway.
yes,
So, fun fact: Miss Lori Vaught got an upgrade to the officials hauler here. So she's her notes running a little bit short, but glad you got a fancy upgrade there, Lori, to hopefully make your job a little bit easier, because you do way too dang much babysitting all these drivers out here tonight. But the fun fact that we do have comes from Miss Peyton McGowan out there, who's a longtime girlfriend there of Mr. Josh Bittner. Asked a couple of questions. What Josh does that annoys her the most? I guess Josh doesn't plan for an event until the day of. And that's that's very much a guy thing. I
I
tend
was
to
going to say that's kind of a man thing. But
kind of do that too.
I think that's normal.
I try to plan before then, but not always.
It depends on the event. I mean, if it's a
Sure.
wedding, I may give it a day and a half.
Yeah.
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 Somebody bring me some lawn chairs.
Her favorite hobby, she enjoys training those ponies. She loves horse training.
Oh,
Oh, that's a cool hobby.
these things can be dangerous. You have to be careful around horses.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely. And then coming to our final fun fact here for today, her pet peeve: when people smack their lips. They do the I don't know which version of smacking their lips she's talking about. Does she mean like that, or I don't know.
So my grandpa used to suck his teeth like this.
Oh, I
I
hate
hate
that.
that.
Yep.
And people hate that.
Oh yeah, don't do that. That's a sign of disrespect. I'll come through here and slap you upside the head. You do that again. Yeah. No, thank you. Man. Oh, those some fun facts.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Of course, Kathy Anderson joining us right when we're starting to get a little crazy out there. She's a little late, but she's here. Go Team Albert. And of course, Jean Porras out there. Let's go, number 16. He's had himself a little bit of an event here. Been doing pretty good, though. He's up into 19th right now. He is, in fact, because the thing that everybody wants to know is between him and Mayberry, he's quite a few spots. Mayberry's up inside the top 10 right now.
Mayberry's having a great night. Started in 22nd, currently holding down 7th place.
So the pace truck makes that big dive down onto pit road, and here we go. Green flag racing here once again as the field shuffles on down across that start-finish line. 88 and the 74. We already know that 74 loves that outside lane on these restarts. Let's see if he can make some magic happen here. Once again, 88 having some troubles getting that power, but he's able to find it and sticks it down into turns 1 and 2, getting that spot securely away from that 74 machine, who immediately jumps up onto that back bumper, riding and grinding his way, trying to make that 88 make a little bit of a mistake, and the 88 slips out wide just a little bit, opening up that door for the 74 as they battle side by side for this race lead. The 88 finding some speed up on that outside lane as they are even Steven coming back down across the line.
Real close racing coming up the front stretch. Little beating and banging. Oh, we got a truck around in turn 1. Oh, hard contact. That's Austin Paul.
Oh, looks like the 55 of Wittenberg, the 8 machine, and the 1. Poor John Gallagher, man.
Again, yeah.
He's just had a rough couple of laps here as we go ahead and kind of watch what happened. As 30. Or looked like the 88 had some issues there kind of late. This time looks like, it was the 3 of Austin Paul up there kind of on his lonesome. Again, kind of towards where those marbles are, trying to put that power down towards the middle of the corner. Oh, no, that was actually going into the corner. Looked like maybe a little too much brake in that back end, just trying to spin itself around. And, it goes around indeed. 55 Ricky Wittenberg, really nowhere to go. Had traffic underneath him, couldn't do too much. And then that's how the 123 gets snagged up in some things as we take a look there. 123 going for a ride. Thankfully, Edson Ochoa able to, just a couple of love taps there. Wasn't too bad. But then kind of towards the end, saw the 88 of Mike Adamson having some issues out there. Let's go ahead and kind of see what happens. Oh, there was some extracurriculars going on as that caution was happening. 53, 74, 88. Looks like the 74 getting a little twitchy coming out of the corner. Bobbing and weaving. 53 getting a little twitchy. Comes down, gets a piece of the quarter panel of the 74, who then gets up into the 88. And then a 3-way truck crash there. 4-way. 33 of Jeff Vaught getting snagged up in it as well.
We talk about brake bias sometimes. The 3 was checking up and checking up for the 19. I don't know if he touched his brakes on entry there, but if he did have some brake bias towards the rear dialed in there, that could have made his rear end come around. I'm not really sure there.
So cautions in the front and cautions in the back as the drivers try to figure out their way around this tricky racetrack here tonight. And that's going to leave the 99 of America's driver, Albert Anderson, up at the front, who got, unfortunately, some of the drivers not able to officially make it to race in the first race of the playoffs. Graciously said, hey, I'm not going to make it. Give my playoff spot to someone else. Well, he's one of those guys on that ticket and is making use of it as he's right there on that cut line. He's looking pretty good up at the front right now.
Especially if he picks up a win or something tonight, or at least a podium, he'll be in the next round and kind of shake things up. Yahtzee.
Yeah, we're going to definitely have to try to see if somebody can shake something up here. Give us a good green flag run. That would be nice. I don't know. We're getting close to 3/4 of the way of this thing.
Yeah, we're getting on down to it. Having some people trying to figure out some strategery and as well as figure out these race trucks. Turner, I know you were talking about that 55 of Ricky Wittenberg here earlier, about how he's up until recently been pretty smooth and just kind of cruising through this race. I don't know if you noticed out there on the racetrack, but they've got some red and green markers. As a yacht captain himself, Mr. Ricky, do you think he's just keeping it between the navigational beacons out there, and that's why he's having such a smooth ride?
Yeah, I mean, he knows where to put his bumpers and how to navigate. I think he has an actual captain do most of the stuff for him. He just tells him probably what to do with his butlers and stuff on board.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, but he's having a good night tonight.
Well, that's what I would do if I had a yacht. I would make sure that captain taught me how to do everything, just in case, you never know if something happens to the captain. He might get seasick or some food poisoning and can't do his job, and I'd
You
be
gotta
able to
be
step
ready to
up.
fight off the pirates too.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe that's what Ricky's main job is.
Sarah Decker joining us here tonight saying, hello, everyone. Good luck, and good luck to Dave Fight. And Papa Anderson saying, keep it going, son, as he is up at the front with his teammate there in Larry Dickerson as the pace truck peels off down and into pit road we go. Green flag racing here once again as the 99 and the 69 putting that power down. Anderson getting a great restart there on that jump. He gets way out in front of the 69. He's going to have a free and open track. How about that 72 of Chan, the man who was ready to take all those banners off his truck after last week? He's one of those drivers that needs a big finish here tonight to try to sneak his way into that final, or the next round of 8 up there into a third right now. One of David Fight. I know Sarah Decker's going to be happy to see this. He's battling side by side with that 14 of Dustin Eaton, trying to claw his way back after that unfortunate penalty and then an incident he was involved in as he moves his way back up, just trying to hunt down that top 5. 434 Kevin Hunt is hunting his way up through the field. Oh, goes out way wide in turns 1 and 2. That's going to allow quite a few people to sneak on by underneath him.
Perfect. Got that out of the way, so now we got to get some laps in.
And that indeed we do, with about 40 laps left to go here. You got the 16 of Kyle Vaught trying to fight his way up back through the field. 43 of John Curtis as well. A lot of these drivers trying to figure out a way to get back up and into these playoffs and get a good finish here tonight as the 89 and the 10 machine right side of Romance table for 2 through turns 1 and 2. Just leaning on each other, trying to figure out a good spot to get a good run as that 89 machine looking very fast up on that kind of middle to outside lane. You can see the 7 of Timothy Pope trying to continue to find his way around here, slipping and sliding his way up towards this top 10. You got the 1 of Fight now side by side with the 81 of Jonathan Osborne battling inside this top 10. You got Jeremiah Burke continuing to try to fly his way up through the field. He had some issues there early trying to figure out how to control this dang race truck here tonight. Looks like he's able to settle down and settle into this run. You got the 28 and the 89 going side by side, having some good speed with the 10 of Andrew Cawthon just there ready to pounce. Almost didn't make it there. It was some almost close contact with the 28 and the 10.
Yeah, there's close contact all over the place, close calls all over the place. People are having a hard time, especially in 2 and 4, we've noticed, but keeping it together. Lots of good racing even in the back here. Watching Dixon trying to get around Vaught and ahead of them. Some other good racing, so we're back at it here.
Yeah, that we are. A guy that's been kind of up and down and all around throughout this field quite a lot is the 33 of Jess Vaught, as the 19 of Jack Dixon makes his way. It looks like the 33 dealing with some damage on that race truck here. You can kind of actually see the bumper is a little out of place. I think maybe he might have some suspension damage up under there as well. So keep your eyes on that 33 as he's your current points leader. He needs to... I think he'll be fine as long as he finishes here tonight, but... definitely something to watch out for. It's the 74 of Hallinan dirt tracking it, quite literally going towards that inside grass, trying to get that thing to turn.
I don't know if y'all mentioned
run is 434 Kevin Hunt. He's up 9, but he's been hitting the wall lately. He must be on some older tires. Go ahead there, English.
Plus, I didn't know if y'all had mentioned Sarah Decker out there saying good luck.
Yes.
David Fight.
All right. We got
Big wreck.
Slow it down, boys.
Oh,
Chandler Paul in the middle of the track there.
53 getting snagged up in it. Quite a few drivers getting snagged up in that one as we go ahead and take a look back, see what exactly happened there to cause this caution. Looks like 72 a Chan, the man, the bearded one. Oh, it was just some tough racing in a tough spot. It was side by side up in front of him as 89.
Dickerson.
Yeah, 89
Oh,
in the 89 and the 69 were going side by side. Dickerson was going very slow going into the corner here. I think the 89 and the 72 wasn't quite expecting the 69 to be just quite as slow, so he dives on down to the inside. Problem is, the 7 of Timothy Pope was coming up with a run, and he wasn't able to check up in time, and that left the 72 open for contact. And then the 6 of Trevor Robertson, during all the checkups, trying to avoid getting into one another here. There was some more stuff. Yeah, he just locks it down. Ends up spinning towards the inside. 53 Jeremiah Burke thought he'd be safe going through the infield grass. Well, that spot's already been taken by the 6 machine and gives him a good little T-bone hit to the quarter panel.
Pit stops aplenty happening right now. The leader leading them down. Trevor Robertson disconnected here for the night.
And we're pretty close. We're about 33 laps away from finishing this thing off, so that does make sense, because I think they will be able to make it to the end. But again, that comes into the if we see a late caution, what people's tire strategy kind of looks like, because if you saved up that extra set, have some rubbers available to you, that could make all the difference here towards the end.
Well,
Oh, I have a this just in across the the fun facts bulletin board.
Yes.
Beep, 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 beep. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
That was a little too good. That was pretty good.
Wasn't bad.
I'm impressed with your Morse code beeps.
No telling what I said. I probably just said, I'm not going to try. Go ahead.
We're under distress. Go
The the very first broadcasted my AAA broadcasting race for the VRL was on August 18th, 2021, and it was that recruiting race that we always allude to, where Auto Club, where we had a flag to flag with just a bunch of random people for 100 laps at Auto Club. Oh man, it was
incredible.
It was incredible. Now
I remember that still.
Now here's an even better stat: is there were 8 OGs that are still currently racing today in that race. Trevor Robertson, Mike Everidge, Austin Paul, Ricky Wittenberg, Jess Vaught, Jack Dixon, George Rincon, and Kelly Keel had all made it out to the racetrack that fine evening, and we've seen them pretty much every race since.
That's interesting. I didn't know we've been doing it that long.
Season 8 right here.
I know, but I can't ever tell the
VRL.
seasons, I get confused.
Well, yeah, they're running more than 2 per year, so. But yeah, Ricky was making the splash screens for that back then when they did one at Auto Club, and I think they did one at, was that Michigan or Las Vegas or somewhere. And we did 2 of them in a row. I remember that, and we were brand new into broadcasting and had done a couple of MDOT races, and I think HCK, we did a couple of those.
We had a handler, like an agent.
Yeah, that didn't really do anything for us except for.
Well, we were learning on the fly.
Not give us what we needed.
Yeah. We broke free of the shackles, and now we're independent. It's a weird time for us, too. We were just figuring it out as well.
We're still trying to figure it out, I think.
I've been waiting to get to 10,000 viewers, I'm going to do it until we get them.
Of course, as we get ready to go back up and running for that green flag, going to be the 3 of Austin Paul and the 19 of Jack the Ripper Dixon. One of those OGs goes side by side down that front straightaway into the Geico restart zone. Green flag racing here once again. The 84 of Josh Bittner trying to give a bump to his buddy there in that 19 machine as the 3 looks towards the inside. Tight racing. And then behind him, we got the 99 of Anderson looking to make some moves up against that outside wall. He's got the 14 in the 13 battling it out with him as we're 3 wide, 4 wide, 3 wide, 2 wide here. Once again, making their way on down the backstretch. 84 of Bittner, I should say, looks to the inside of Dixon.
Oh, reckon
as we got a
good enough.
Started with the 89, Craig. Good enough. Not sure how. I think he got tapped. Slowed down in front. Oh.
Well, let's take a look.
Pope was behind him too.
And I think this might be the chaos of the accordion effect here, where you got to slow down for the corner and everybody gets all stacked up. It looks like the 13 was checking up for the 14 in front of him. 89 saw the checkup, starts checking up, and the 7 wasn't quite ready to get on the brakes just yet, and just gets into the back of the 89 to send him sideways. Quite a few people making their way through the infield grass. You can see the 74, Hallinan making a dive on down to the inside. 88, same thing, and the 8. Oh, kind of late there for the 53 of Jeremiah Burke getting love tap there with Adamson. But for the most part, didn't look too damaging for those drivers. And Mayberry just decided to kind of make his own path and find his way through. As more and more people elect to come down into the pits, maybe get some last-minute damage repaired, some final extra little bit of fuel. Maybe if they didn't take tires that last pit stop that they just had, to maybe take some tires now, as we're about 28-ish laps from finishing this thing up.
So it's right around the corner. It's going to happen pretty quick. 35 seconds a lap, 34 seconds.
Yeah, if we can get some green flag stuff happening. I think
Yes, sir.
so. Tricky. New trucks. Different style track, too. We're having some fun talking to Larry on the track.
Yep, I don't know.
They got a good sense of humor out there tonight.
Yeah, I think the good news is that's,
Oh no!
what?
So they were asking for David Fight because he was blinking out. Sarah Decker just wrote on YouTube, "We just lost power." Oh no! David is not happy. He's pretty pissed that the power went out right in the middle of he was doing pretty well.
He was
on the lead lap. Oh man, that sucks for David Fight. And Sarah, I'm sure you don't like not having power, much less, losing the race here tonight. Dang, that sucks.
Yeah, it's going around. I was losing it Monday night. I kept losing power. There's too many tornadoes and turbulence everywhere. They're testing the grid, they're testing our patience.
That was a Hank Jr. song. Yeah, you're quoting Hank Jr. about
I wasn't quoting him.
too many tornadoes and all that.
That's Mr. Weatherman. She's a great song. But I think it has to do some of it with the cloud seeding, It's they're
Oh, does it?
you're trying to play with nature, you're gonna get, remember on Breakfast Club when the principal's like, you mess with the bull, you get the horns, So that's kind of what we're doing with Mother Nature.
Got too many highs and too many lows. Too
Yeah.
many storms and tornadoes.
That's actually true, Hank Jr. That's a quote from him. That's not.
That's
That's
a
not
Hank
our
Jr. song.
original material. Oh god. Yeah, at least you figured that out. That was cool. I couldn't figure out your Seinfeld reference the other night. I should have known that.
Yeah.
As the field gets lined on up back behind that pace truck whose caution lights have been turned off, which means we're ready to go back to green flag racing side by side come the 84 and the 19 as they get all up and ready to rumble. Looks like maybe some fuel saving up and underway. 84 Bittner trying his best to make his everything last here tonight as the field rounds out into the front stretch, into that Geico restart zone. Green flag racing here once again, side by side for the 19 and the 84. The bottom side, though, having a little bit of a problem getting up to speed as the 3 of Austin Paul, a little slow on the trigger there. 99 of Anderson able to find some open space to take that third place spot right now up against that far outside wall.
Oh, no. Edson Ochoa is around. He's down onto the infield grass, but he didn't get down there
Who
quick
turned it?
enough to avoid the
Adamson?
yellow. I think Mike Adamson just keyed up on the radio and said sorry.
Yeah, it looks like the 88 just got a piece of the action there, getting into that back bumper of the 8. Adamson, I think, was ready to get onto the throttle. The problem is the 8 machine might have been getting a little loose, or it might not just be as aggressive on that pedal all the way over there on the right, and ends up going for the spin. Thankfully, it doesn't look like too much damage there. Didn't really even hit that inside wall, if at all. So I think the 8 machine of ESPN, the Ocho's Edson Ochoa, out here running around with us tonight, joining us with the driver cam.
Yeah, he barely tapped the inside wall, just barely.
Yeah, it wasn't much. It wasn't much of anything, really.
I think it's as long as his temperatures stay okay, he'll be fine.
May have some grass in the front end of that thing.
Also joined on the driver cams with the 085 of Greg Dobson. It's got the current view of the back bumper of the 72. Ooh, everything kind of checking on up there in front of him. Had to little bit of a pucker up. We are also got to scroll through his name. He was up at the front and now kind of towards the tail end of things. Craig Goodenough trying his best to find a good enough finish here tonight. He's back in 19th. He's trying to figure out a way to get back up towards the front where he's been kind of racing a lot for most of the night. And oh yeah, he's turning off that engine.
Saving a little fuel.
Okay. Learning some tricks.
Trying to.
Saved quite a bit of fuel doing that.
Oh yeah.
I have my ignition mapped on a lower button on my dash, so I can kill it and then immediately turn it back on. And then as soon as I'm ready to get going again, I just dump the clutch out.
Like the fancy boy you are.
It takes a little practice. Once you get that little rhythm down, Adam, it saves a lot of fuel. I've done
Well,
that quite a few times.
You have to have a button map for sure.
Oh man, it makes it easy. You don't have to think about it, you know.
Yeah.
Zachary Howland and sounding defeated on the radio, talking about his playoff dreams are pretty much shattered now, and the driver of the 74. Great season here at VRL. Is this his first season or second? His first season here at VRL.
I've been here that long.
Has really made a good impact on this group. Been great watching him race in that 74. So hopefully he'll stick around for the rest of the playoffs.
We'll be getting that green flag back here with about 21 laps left to go. Been having a few issues on these restarts here lately, and hopefully we can figure them on out and have a great run to the end here.
Yeah, we're going to need one. Yahtzee.
Starting to get back side by side here. Getting ready to get back going. Well, Josh Bittner, Jack Dixon be restarting up here in the front, man.
And it's gonna be should be a pretty good restart here. Both drivers trying to find comfort in each of their lanes. Been seeing some good side-by-side racing with them. 69 in the 99, two teammates gonna be working together here. As you can see, everybody trying their best to save fuel as everything starts to tighten on up once again as the pace truck prepares to come off down onto pit road. And we get to going here with a fantastic finish.
Here we go. Get it tightened up here, fellas. Here we go.
Yep, here we go. Pace truck down and in as the 19 and the 84 side by side go to that Geico restart zone, and go they do as they get launched off down the front stretch into turns 1 and 2. 69 Larry Dickerson, he doesn't want to stick around for too long. He wants to get up and around the 19 and the 84, giving some good shoves there as the 1984 still side by side, locked in even Steven all the way down the back straightaway. Larry Dickerson and the 99 going side by side. 14 of Dustin Eaton trying to hustle his way back up to the front. 3 of Austin Paul getting involved here in some of the action as he almost gets up into the 7 of Timothy Pope as the field comes in and around turns 3 and 4. 84 Josh Bittner against that outside wall with a big run of speed, trying to stay out in front of that 19, but the 19 keeps that nose tucked in right there beneath him as we're almost going 3 wide. 99 of America's driver right there in the middle. 69 almost snagging the wall. 19 down low. Some good side by side battling we got going on here up at the front.
Almost had the opportunity to cross him over, meaning the 84 of Josh Bittner. Just couldn't quite get there. And then once Josh got in clean air, he could use the whole racetrack. He started pulling away. We got a spin. It's
88.
Mike Adamson.
Oh, and we saw the 99-19 continuing to dump. But bump doors with each other as Bittner on that last lap before the yellow flag came out runs the fastest lap of the race. So we go ahead and kind of see what happened here with the silent assassin getting all spun a boot. Go ahead and go to our chopper camera. See what happened. Our chopper camera getting some heavy action here tonight. Oh, 434. Kevin Hunt was up against that outside wall, was trying to come back down off of it, comes down a little too far and gets a piece of the 88, and they just kind of get magnetized together, and that causes the 88 to slip and slide his way up into that outside wall.
I've been where Kevin Hunt's been many times right there. You know, you got contact with the wall, you're right up there on it, and you're just trying to get away from it. And sometimes you just go down just a little too far. I'm not sure if he knew Mike was down there. And sometimes the spotter's a little bit slow to respond. It's a little delayed. So I don't know if Kevin knew he was down there, but definitely wasn't intentional. But we'll re-rack started again here with what will we have here, Adam? Maybe about 15 to go. About that.
I hope so. I'm
Not
really
math.
trying to look up some Florida man stuff.
Oh, okay. You gotta have your priorities, you know.
Yeah.
I just got told by my wife that I've got to do 5 pork butts for this weekend.
5? How many pounds
Yeah.
apiece?
I don't know. Whatever they bring me, I guess. I'm feeding about 40 people, 40 or so people.
What do you got going on? Are you having a big party?
Yeah, baby shower for my newest granddaughter, my 3rd grandkid. Will be here in about a month, and
Man,
having a baby shower this weekend. So I'm on barbecue duty, which means the day before I'm gonna start cooking, probably about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and then just in time for lunch the next day, it ought to be ready.
oh, good. All right, I got a quick Florida man.
Go ahead.
Naked man, Florida man, chops off victim's hands with a machete and he tells the cops, "Is he dead yet? I tried to kill him." I mean, that seems normal.
Man, that would be a.
What an idiot!
Yeah, I mean, you have the right not to say anything,
Yeah.
No, that wasn't me. That was the other guy holding the machete down the street,
What?
It's ketchup all over me.
Well, as we start to close things off here tonight with about 16 laps left to go, we'll have 14 laps left when the green flag flies here once again. Coming up for the next round, we've got Sonoma coming up on tap for next week, and then Iowa Speedway to close out the round of 8. That's going to cause some... that's going to be different, because there's some guys in here that even in these playoffs that aren't necessarily the best at the mile and a half. They do all right to get some good finishes, but are really good at those road courses. And then you got some guys that are really good at the mile and a halves and the short tracks that are going to have a good time over there at Iowa. So it's going to be interesting. And this will be the first road course that we get to see with this new truck package here too. So it's going to be a learning experience for us all as we continue moving forward in these VRL playoffs.
My goodness, I hate Sonoma. I hate racing it. I love watching races there and broadcasting there, but I hate racing that track. I don't know how you guys feel about it. All the elevation changes and just you can't get traction anywhere, especially in something like these trucks. I've raced there before. I can't stand it. I hate it.
Well, we're going to find out. It might be all right.
But we've broadcasted races from Sonoma that were a blast. I loved watching them. I like watching the ones on TV. But racing it, no thanks.
Hmm.
I'd rather get punched in the kidney.
Oh, gosh. Wow. We don't want that to happen.
Well, I don't want to pee blood, but I mean, just hit me lightly.
As
Here we
the
go, Brad.
84 and the 69 line up side by side, battling it out, heading on into turns 1 and 2 here once again. 99 of America's driver Albert Anderson trying to make some moves as the 7 of Timothy Pope for the first time here tonight as the 69 goes sideways across the racetrack, bringing out the yellow. Big accidents happening there behind him.
What the heck?
The milk dud.
Did Dickerson drift up? It was hard to tell what happened between him and Bittner there.
As
I don't know.
we head off into turns in
A little bit of both.
1 and 2. Bittner, he's
A little bit of both.
was kind of pinching down on him a little bit, but he was maintaining his line. You can kind of see by the groove marks in the racetrack, and the 69.
Dickerson was coming up.
Yeah, Dickerson came up, got a piece of him, did his best to try not to, and that sends the 69 around right in front of the 99 and the 14. Man, the 14 started this race off great. Thankfully, it doesn't look like too much damage for either driver between the 99 and the 14, but then the 69 getting a piece of the grass, still spinning around. 01 making a dive down into the infield grass. Man.
Well, Bittner, it's a miracle the back end of that truck didn't break loose. He had all that grip going on in the rear end, and when Milk Dud went up there and made contact, kind of spun himself out there against Bittner. Bittner's rear end didn't move. That track dog's truck just stuck.
And sorry to cut you off there, Adam, but
No, you're not. I don't have much to say.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to say, as from one guy that lives in the north to a guy that's been up north there in Mr. Allen English, I think Bittner, because these are, in fact, trucks, and trucks in the winter don't do so good, especially with an empty truck bed, he might have a couple bags of kitty litter back there to hold that thing steady.
We had a government truck that I had to drive in Minot, North Dakota. It was a F-350 crew cab with an 8-foot bed, and you couldn't drive that thing on the ice. It just went sideways and slid towards the curbs. It was terrible. The whole back end of it jumped because it was a straight axle truck, and it was terrible.
Oof.
Yeah, a little bit different from what these guys are dealing with here. Albert Anderson said, Albert Anderson's pop says, getting mighty crowded up front. Good job controlling that truck on that last one, son. And Lori Vaught says, I'm really not happy with how things turning out tonight.
I could see that.
I mean, this track is just, it's kind of an unknown.
It's dangerous.
I mean, they did run it Monday.
Yeah, but that was a different setup, different truck.
It was a different,
redid the truck.
different platform and everything, but with changes.
Nobody likes the
I
changes.
don't know. It's still been entertaining to watch. I know it's been frustrating for Lori adminning and a lot of the drivers. It's been frustrating for, but
Yeah, well, I mean, because we started
good TV.
I mean, we started off with a great green flag run, and then a couple quick cautions, and then another pretty good green flag run, and from there it's just been kind of caution after caution after caution.
Yep.
Florida man arrested after smacking an officer with a Stanley Cup after breaking into the church.
He was a hockey champion?
No, the Stanleys. Everybody has those now. That was a wintertime fad, I think.
I got a Stanley tape measure. Is it the same company?
It's the same company. Have you remember where when you make thermoses and stuff? Well, they make a Yeti style cup now, and it's very very popular.
Sweet.
With certain, people, I guess.
I just heard Albert Anderson just say one word over the radio just now. He just came over the radio and said, strategery.
Yeah, he's probably right.
He's thinking out there as
he knows something we don't.
As to answer Peyton McGowan's question about how many cautions, this is caution number 12 as we're going to go back to green flag racing. 9 laps left to go here tonight. It's been a full field of just chaos and who knows what's next as the 84 and the 7, 2 Ain't Dead Yet team members lined up side by side. 81 of Osborne, 99 of Anderson, 92 of Klein, 14 of Eaton. Dave Mayberry up 15 spots still inside this top 10 up in 7th. George Rincon in 8th. Kelly Keel in 9th. 89 of Craig Goodenough running out your fields. Restarting at top 10 as we're getting down to a business in a race that's got all the implications for these playoffs that could ever be. Pace truck down onto a pit road as the green flag gets lifted up. Drivers enter that Geico restart zone, and here we go. Green flag racing once again side by side, putting that power down as much as they dare as the teammates of Bittner and Pope work their magic side by side down and around turns 1 and 2. 84 Bittner having a great run up there against that outside wall, picking up that big momentum, able to easily get way out in front of his partner and teammate there of Pope. Both drivers fighting in these playoffs. You even got the 81 of Jonathan Osborne trying to figure out some extra spots here as he's going around the 7 machine up on the outside lane. Squiggly wiggly up towards the outside wall, but able to avoid the wall contact. 99 of Anderson just kind of tucking into line here. He's got the 14 of Dustin with a Y hounding on his back bumper. Same thing with the 92 of Greg Klein. 28 of George Rincon trying to plow over a couple more drivers to get some extra positions.
Yeah, Chachi holding his own up there, doing what he can. He keeps scraping the outside wall there, though. Oh, man, look at mid-pack. We got some 2 and 3 wide. Back to 2 wide. Oh, man, oh, man.
Hey, man, oh, man, is right as the 29.
All around the 10.
Yeah, 29, 10, the 01. You got the 43, just Vaught. Oh, 43, contact with the 33.
Oh, and the 434 smacks the back of him, had nowhere to go. John Curtis just got a big back door tailgate dent from Kevin Hunt, but he couldn't go anywhere.
Might be a green-white checker before the green-white checker here.
It's all about the timing as we were kind of staggered coming on down the front straightaway. You can see the 01 and then the 43 in the middle and then the 33 down low. So it was a staggered 3 wide into turns 1 and 2. And oh yeah, the 43 just unfortunately coming down a little bit too much. I guess maybe not getting the call from the spotter there saying that the 33 was down there. And 33 does a great job going down into the grass across that rumble strip and holding it all together to keep that truck pointed in the right direction. That's unfortunately upset the 43's truck, and he does his best to avoid the 01, which unfortunately causes him to spin a Rooney up against the outside wall. 434, Kevin Hunt. He thought he would be safe going up to the outside because normally the rule of thumb is where there's smoke, you're probably going to be good because the car's probably not there anymore. Problem is the 43 was in fact still there and just absolutely trades more than a little bit of paint, maybe some coolant, a couple of quarts of oil there between those two drivers as they mash together.
The parts coming off the car is pretty cool animation.
I do like it. I wish they persisted a little bit longer out on the racetrack. Sometimes they disappear a little too quick.
Be cool if there was a little crew that went out there and picked up the pieces.
It would be pretty cool.
Well, they've added all that stuff in the last 3 or 4 years. It's been kind of neat. But
Jacob Young, Jake the Stash Young, as I like to call him, said the story behind his paint on his truck is pretty cool. It's inspired by his favorite endurance racing team from the GTWCA series, Samantha Tan Racing. It's worth checking them out. Hashtag keep pushing. I'm going to have to check that out. Samantha Tan Racing. Yeah, Albert Anderson's pop said, "What a crazy caution fest this has become." Yeah, it's it happens at some of these tracks, especially ones that like this that aren't these drivers don't have a ton of experience on, and plus they're dealing with the new handling package on this newly updated Truck Series NASCAR platforms.
Oh man, what didn't it?
I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying they're dealing with a lot of crap.
I'm very upset with myself now. This entire race, we haven't had a single incident of engine noise going on because apparently it wasn't coming through.
what?
This entire race.
We ruined it. Wonder why? Did it just reset on you or something?
Man, this computer stuff is weird. Got
no engine sounds at all?
no, there wasn't. There is now, so hopefully everybody enjoys a very
crank it up.
a very lovely sounding last few laps here. As I think you're right there, Turner. I think we're gonna get ourselves a green-white checker before the green-white checker. So let's go ahead and tell everybody about the rules of green-white checker racing here, where when we get all stacked back up, re-racked, and are ready to rumble, the drivers are going to get back on up to speed, taking that green flag. If the leader comes back down across the line to take the white flag, we're going to race this thing all the way to the end. No matter what happens, there will be no more cautions. However, if a caution flag does come out before that leader crosses that start-finish line, we get to re-rack and do it again because this is not going into our one official attempt that we have available to us.
Only one attempt, official attempt here in the VRL.
Mm-hmm.
Some leagues do more. They decided that less was more here. Thought that guys would be more careful if they knew they only had one chance to get it right.
I think we've
and it's worked out, hasn't it, Alan? I mean,
we've only had what, one, maybe two in the entirety of the history of VRL where it's actually gone to a caution decision. So
yes,
it's been very
the
good.
Field was frozen
As the pace truck peels off down onto pit road, which means it's time to buckle up, strap on those drinking helmets, throw inhibition out the window. Green, white checker racing as the 81 and the 84 put the power down, coming back down across that start-finish line, heading towards turns 1 and 2. Side by side they go, the 14 and the 7 battling it out as well as they continue to line each other up as the 84, he hooked some tires there. He's going to lose a couple positions as the 81 of Osborne gets a free break there. Still driving though goes the 84 and the 81. 99 having a good battle right now with that 7 of Timothy Pope looking towards the outside lane as Osborne with a run coming out of turns 3 and 4 looking free and clear. White flag is out, so this will do it. No bonus time here tonight. 81 of Osborne sees the 14 of Dustin Eaton lurking right there behind him. It's taken him almost 100 laps to get back up to the front, but here he comes looking to make some moves here late. He's going to send it in deep and send it in hard through turns 3 and 4 as the 81 makes a good defensive block down towards the inside, down and around 3 and 4. Does the 14 have a drag race left in him as he drifts out of turns 3 and 4? He does not. Jonathan Osborne wins here at Gateway. 14 of Eaton with a great comeback to get second, and the 99 of America's driver, Albert Anderson, picking up third.
What a comeback by Eaton to work his way up multiple times to finish
he almost
here
got
second,
it.
almost taking the win.
Huh.
Chachi, man.
Great job. Then I'll tell you I'm going to give the run of the night to Kyle Vaught, up 22 and 9th. George Rincon up 18th. Up 18 and 8th. So there were some good moves all night.
Yeah, that there indeed was, as our podium drivers get lined up for their quick little photo. 14 of Eaton peels off and starts getting going there again as the 81 of Osborne is going to be able to have some fun and do some burnouts here tonight as we wait for everyone to join us in that waiting room. And yeah, it was a little messy there at the end. A good fight as man, just 84 Bittner feeling the wow. So English, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
So when you drive backwards
I knew you were
around the
watching.
racetrack, it like in the opposite direction of travel, it's called the Polish victory lap, right?
Polish victory lap,
What-
made famous by Alan Kulwicki. Yeah.
So what is it called when you drive backwards around the correct way around the racetrack as your victory lap?
So he's driving the correct direction, but he's driving backwards. Yes. I don't know what
We'll call it the Osborne.
we have to call it, the Osborne or the Chachi, because the Chachi lap. Yeah, I've never seen this before. And look, it's not spinning the thing around. It's hard to drive. Look, he's driving 60 miles an hour in reverse. 60.
Yeah, with his
Can't
mouth.
do that in your car
with
with no force feedback.
no force feedback with his mouth.
With your mouth, yeah.
Oh man, oh great job there, and a great J turn there too to get.
Awesome.
So good job from Osborne.
Just-
Great
just-
great victory lap.
Justin really says it's called the drunk lap.
That could possibly work too, as we go ahead and get some of these driver interviews up and underway as we get to talk to tonight's spotlight driver of the day, and even got some highlight time up there inside that top 10 for a little while. The 29 of Uncle Dave Mayberry up into a 13th place tonight, making up 9 positions here tonight. Dave, new truck, a kind of tricky trek to try to open things up with this new package and everything, but looked like that 29 machine did pretty good for you.
Yeah, it did. I'll be honest. A lot of guys are talking that they can see the difference, and there's not that much difference. I mean, not on short track. I didn't see it. Depends on who you talk to. But truck handled well. I did all right. I didn't want to mess up any of the playoff drivers. So I was just trying to not to force anything into the corners or anything. But overall, pretty good race.
And we get that, a lot of guys in a lot of other leagues will just skip the playoffs. But, this league is a lot different, and they really encourage participation throughout, all the way to the end. And that's one of the things it's fun to tune in to a VRL race, because you guys still got a full 30-something truck field out there. And what did you think about racing here at Gateway? I mean, it gets a little crowded.
Yeah,
I
actually
old school track.
Yeah, I like this track. I don't really like the Martinsville and those, but I don't mind this track. Not like I'm super fast, but that's me. But no, I like this track. I think it's a good racy track. Coming out of turn 2 though, that's where all the accidents happen, as you can probably tell.
Yeah, there was a bunch of stuff happening out there, but you made the best of it. Who'd you like to give some shout outs to?
Give a shout out to obviously Jess and Lori for always doing this, and I'll give a shout out to my nephew Kyle. He passed me there on one of the last restarts. I was like, who the hell's passing me? And I go, damn, it's Kyle. So, but yeah, how'd you guys look at the race? Did it look pretty good to you guys? Was it racy up front?
It up front, man. There was racing going on all over the racetrack, and it was it was definitely fun. I know it got a little messy there at the end, but
yeah.
But everyone's trying to push. It's playoff time, but we had a great time here tonight, and we're happy to be able to talk to you here once again, there, Mr. Mayberry, and have a great time out there on the racetrack. Congratulations on the spotlight driver and the 13th place finish here tonight. Always good when you're approaching the upper half of the league. Congratulations, and we look forward to seeing you guys back out here in action again next week here, buddy.
All right, man. Thanks. You guys keep doing what you do. Appreciate it.
With that, we'll head on up to our podium here tonight and talk to a driver that basically got a freebie ticket punched to get into these playoffs, and, well, he's making use of every inch of that card. The 99 of America's driver, Albert Anderson, up 12 spots to take home a podium finish here tonight. Albert, congratulations here, buddy. Man, you're definitely putting in the work trying to pick up your first season championship here with the VRL.
Yeah, that was a tough race, man. That was absolutely brutal. Jonathan just wrecked me.
I saw that.
But yeah, no, that was a tough race. It was we fought really hard the whole race long, and I want to thank Tim on that last lap. Tim and I were duking it out for the 3rd place spot. And I dropped down right in front of him and jammed on the brakes. So I thank him for not taking me out there, because he could have. If luckily Tim and I get along great. We're former teammates, and we like each other. So it was a tough race, man.
You guys have a lot of sportsmanship with each other and stuff, and not just with Tim, but with a lot of the guys in the league. Y'all all seem to really genuinely care about each other and like hanging out and racing with each other. But next week, holy smokes, man, Sonoma's gonna be a bear. I never got the hang of that track. I was always horrible at it. Are you prepared for Sonoma? And do you think it's a good race to have in the playoffs?
I am not prepared for Sonoma, not one little bit. I'll be hanging on for dear life there. I hate the fact that Sonoma isn't in the playoffs. You know, I would much rather see Talladega or something like that there. But
Yeah, I
you
bet.
know, you can't, you know, pick and choose where you want to race. You got to race the schedule, and
Yeah.
that's what we're doing. The schedule went out, and we're sticking to it. So I'm gonna try to get some practice laps in throughout the course of the week, and hopefully I can give it a heck come next Wednesday.
Great job tonight. That's a battle. You got yourself a podium. I know you got some people to thank.
Yeah, you know, so Jess is the foundation of VRL, but Lori definitely built the house. This thing doesn't work without Lori Vaught. You know, she's the glue to hold us all together. And so I'm thankful for her. And you know, thank you, Tim Pope, for not hitting me and sending me to the moon there on last lap. My teammates, Larry, Dickerson, Jack, Dixon, Jeremiah Burke, you know, love you guys. And my family that comes out and watches, you know, mom, dad, my aunts, my son tunes in from time to time. You know, you guys in the broadcast booth, everybody's absolutely amazing.
Awesome, man. Well, big congratulations to America's driver. And I'm almost guarantee you punched your ticket all the way to that second round of these playoffs here, buddy. Mr. Albert Anderson, your third place podium finisher here from Gateway, man. Congratulations and good luck coming up with the next couple of races here, buddy.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.
And unfortunately for Albert, not a road course not a road course type of guy, but so he's gonna have to
I'm
put his
glad
work in.
it's in the schedule. I didn't mean that as a slight to the folks that come up with the schedule, you know, about it being in the playoffs, but you know, I'm sure that's a boon to a lot of the drivers that are good at it, but
Yeah, well,
a bane to those who aren't.
it's one of those drivers that are good at road courses coming up next week. And your second place finisher here tonight, Dustin with a Y, the 14 of Dustin Eaton with a fantastic finish here tonight. Started off very strong, even got quite a ways way out in front there, Eaton, on the first couple of runs that you got going, and then just an awkward penalty with how like the caution came out while you were coming into the pits, that cost you, and then getting caught up in an incident that cost you. So you did a great job trying to fight your way back.
Yeah, so that wasn't actually a penalty. What had happened was somebody was on my outside and they were going around and I was just paying attention to them and I missed the first pit entry and had to take the second one. So that dropped me back to, I think, 18th or 19th. And then, hell, I think I fought my way back up to 9th within a lap or so. Yeah, that was definitely mine to lose, man. I was fast. You know, I had the top times in practice all week. And, you know, we definitely practice hard, me and Craig and Andy and everybody. But, yeah, 13 cautions doesn't help anything, man. If those would have went a couple laps further, I definitely think I could have, you know, pulled out that win. But after, you know, checking up, hitting jack, a couple different things, I was actually finished with 16 out of 17 incident points, and just hoping I got to finish. So I couldn't press the issue with Osborne, and yeah, let that one slip through my fingers, fellas.
Well, stuff happens, and we talked about this 1.25 mile track kind of running like a short track, like your Saturday night pavement track in your hometown, and you know, anything can happen at those, and we saw everything kind of unfold out there, and guys who were real quick in qualifying, like yourself, and a couple other guys, kind of get screwed with, you know, just contact that wasn't their fault, and that's the nature of it. That's NASCAR, and that's the Truck Series, and that's life on the short track. But next week, you know, road course running, it's going to be a lot of fun there at Sonoma. For some of you guys, for some folks, not as much, but I mean, having a road course in the playoffs is really gonna help a lot of the guys out that really like the right turn action and have a lot of experience.
Yeah, you know, going back to what you said about here and, you know, seeing everything happen, you know, this is like a Darlington mix with a little Martinsville. It's just you gotta drive with some tact, and And guys, just if they overshoot it by even just a couple inches, man, it can mean disaster. So it's really tough driving. So yeah, a lot of people did really good, man. We had a lot of good fights. But as far as Sonoma, you guys know I am so ready for Sonoma. Been doing the practice ever since. Got that code of victory to make up for. I was really happy when I saw the road course in the playoffs. I just had to make it to there, and I feel like I'm gonna do great, guys. You're gonna see some stuff there. I'm gonna paint a truck especially for you fellas too.
Awesome.
Oh,
Who
looking
would you like
forward to it.
to give some shout outs to for this?
Well,
Yes,
Jess and Lori, of course, putting it on. Jess, he had a couple hard runs there. Lori, she puts up with all that crap. I know we're gonna hear about the 13 cautions. I think it was like 50 something laps
Yeah.
under caution. Oh man, and then of course my wife, she's in here. She's always the first one. I failed to mention this a lot, and I'm very sorry. But my wife, she supports me through everything. She's the first one to run in here screaming when I do good. So shout out to her, and then the rest of Team Tang, man. That's pretty much all I got.
Awesome, man. Well, big congratulations to the 14 of Dustin with a Y. Dustin Eaton picking up that second place finish here tonight from St. Louis, man. Congratulations. Keep that momentum going forward, and good luck with the next round of playoffs here, buddy.
See you next week, fellas.
And with that, we take that one final leap up the podium to talk to tonight's race winner, and has a new official victory move named after him. It's the Chachi, Mr. Jonathan Osborne, picking up the race win here tonight. Man, Jonathan, that was a fantastic finish for you, picking up that race win, having a great battle with, you had Bittner, you had Eaton there, you had Anderson, you had Pope. Man, you had pretty much everybody hounding on that back bumper here towards the end.
Yeah, I don't know how I pulled that one out. I was wrecked twice pretty ugly, and then the back of the field like 28th 2 or 3 times. So I don't know how I pulled that one out.
Well, you punched your ticket. You're on to the next round. The Full Circle Chevrolet with Daystar screens on there and track dogs. I know your sponsors are proud of you. We're proud of you. We've been watching you race here for several years, and it's been great covering you. And man, what a great race we saw out there. A lot of cautions out there, man, but you were able to survive all of it. And what did as far as pit strategy, did you try to do anything different than anybody else? I mean, we saw most of the field kind of doing the same thing out there. Did any of the strategery, as Adam and Albert like to call it, did that help you or hurt you at all, or was it just kind of a survival race?
I feel like it was just survival, and Bittner just gave it to me on the golden platter when he gave me the outside there. Yeah, it was brutal. Just war of attrition out there trying to keep off of everybody and keep the fenders on your truck.
Well, you did that. A good job. Congrats. Who'd you like to give some shout outs to?
I'd like to shout out my sponsor, Larry Donahue, at Daystar Screens and Indecisive Chaos, and my aunt and uncle, because they helped throw some money in on my computer, along with Larry, and obviously Josh Bittner, my other sponsor. We're going to be having some 81 hats coming to Track Dogs here soon, so
Nice.
some 81 hats, so that'll be nice. And my sister and all my family, and Lori and Jess, and especially you guys do an awesome job.
Awesome, man. Well, congratulations on the race win, and hopefully punching that ticket all the way forward up to up through these playoffs here, buddy. Jonathan Osborne, your race winner here from Gateway, man. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys. You have a good one.
And with that, that brings all the festivities to a close. And again, got a little ugly there towards the end there, Mr. English, but all in all, a fantastic race to have here, and it's got a pretty good run.
It got a little tedious, but sometimes that's what you got to do to let the cream rise to the top. And Jonathan Osborne with the is that what we're calling it? He's out there doing the chachi.
Doing the
That's
chachi.
where you drive the right way around the track, but you do it backwards. That's awesome, man.
Hashtag trademark. As we close, as we close things out here tonight, let's go ahead and tell everybody where their favorite driver ended up finishing here on the evening. 81 Jonathan Osborne picking up that race win. 14 of Dustin with a Y finishing up on that podium in second, and rounding out the podium, America's driver, the 99 of Albert Anderson. Timothy Pope, kind of unpope-like race up until the end. Just kind of hung around in the middle, but fought his way through to pick up a 4th place finish. 84 Josh Bittner had a really good run there towards the end as well. Ends up finishing in 5th. 89 Craig Goodenough, he got involved in quite a few bumps and bangs, but he is able to get a 6th place finish. 92 of Greg Klein with a fantastic run to finish here in 7th. George Rincon up 18 spots on the day for the 28, finishes in 8th, having a fantastic run. 16 of young Kyle Vaught, not only beating Mr. Uncle Dave Mayberry, but he's your hard charger of the day in 9th, up 22 spots on the evening. So a good run there for Kyle. Rounding out your top 10 is going to be the 10 of Andrew Cawthon in 10th position. 11th will go to the 33 of Mr. Jess Vaught. Had some good runs up there towards the front, but unfortunately some things started to kind of bite him there towards the end, and some damage that he wasn't quite able to get fixed. 82 Mike Everidge with a great run to finish in 12th. 13th, your spotlight driver of the day, 29 of Mr. Dave Mayberry, with the 69 of Larry Dickerson. Kind of towards the end there, looked like he might be settled in for a possible win here tonight, but he ends up settling for 14th. And rounding out your field's top 15, the 85 of Canada's own, Mr. Greg Dobson.
72 of Chan the Man with problems aplenty out there. Did start in 25th, ended up finishing in 16th, but they ain't the whole story. He involved in a lot of mess out there. So is Jack Dixon in the 19, not only with the outside wall, but with a few other drivers. He'll finish in 17th place. 18th goes to Austin Paul in the 3, also kind of roughed up and banged up, and one of those trucks that hit him was the guy that finished right behind him there, Ricky Wittenberg in the 55. Had nowhere to go on one of those accidents. He'll finish in 19th place. Rounding out your top 20, Edson Ochoa in the 8 machine. 13, Andrew Player ends up 21st. He is your last truck on the lead lap. 22nd goes to Kelly Keel in the 01. The 43 of John Curtis, also 1 lap down. He'll finish 23rd. David Fight in the 1, power outage. He had a decent run out there tonight before all that happened, but was able to log on and complete a few more laps here. He'll finish 2 laps down in 24th, pick up a few more points. Kevin Hunt also 2 laps down. He'll finish in 25th. Mike Adamson in the 88 finishes 26. 27, John Gallagher in the 123. We saw him sideways a couple of times out there tonight, along with a lot of other folks in the field. 74, Zach Hallinan started in row 3, and it looked like he was on tear. He was having a really good run out there, and just didn't work out for him. He'll finish in 28th. Heartbreak for the 74 there. Same for the 53. Seen the 53 stepping out a couple times, and just didn't go his way either. Gateway won tonight against a lot of these drivers. He'll finish 29th. 30th, Trevor Robertson. 77 of Jacob Young finishes in 31st rather. And thank you as always, Lori Vaught, for putting up with all this and doing a great job adminning that.
And that indeed. As always, we thank you all for tuning in and watching, joining us here, because you guys are the reason why we do this and have such a wonderful time of broadcasting all these races. So thank you all. If you haven't done so already, be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell so you get alerted every single time that we go live. And, well, of course, if you do enjoy any of the action, be sure to hit that thumbs up button so that way we can continue to grow this fantastic community. I also have to say a huge proud thank you to the sponsors of the VRL, such as GC Cruise Travel, Blue Fox Properties and Mr. Dave Mayberry, D&D Race Graphics, and Southbound Real Estate with Mr. Ricky Wittenberg. Thank you guys for your continued support of this great league so that way they can put on the amazing show like they do week in and week out. So with that, we close the action down here tonight. We're back as playoff time is kicking off for the Num Thumbs Racing League in both series. The Super Speedway Series kicks it off, and then we got some playoff racing coming up on Monday night here as well. So it's going to be a fun full week of racing here coming on up. So can't wait to see you all on that one. But until then, I'm Alan Brown for Alan English and Adam Turner. We'll see y'all on the next one.
We gone and see ya.